Hi there. I'm so excited that you have tuned in for today's training. We are going to dive right on in, as you can see in the title, the importance of building momentum as a business owner and as an entrepreneur. I'm Connie Kercher. I serve as your elite entrepreneur coach. I am all things strategy, right? So when it comes to your marketing strategy, sales, really being intentional with your strategy and tactics for follow-up and for really leveling up your CEO mindset, that is all of what this channel is about, and becoming the best version of yourself from habits, from cadence, and again, from momentum from today's video. So we're going to spend 10 minutes together. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you have subscribed, push the bell notification so that you can see my 3 uploads every single week that I provide some mindset tips and again, some strategy tactics for you to add to your toolkit. So let's talk about the 3 ways that you need to start building, that you have an opportunity to build in your strategies, in your, calendar, and really just for this to be kind of a baseline for you moving forward. So what I find before we get to the first one is a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs do not realize the demise by starting and stopping and starting and stopping. There is literally no way that you will have inertia, you will have momentum, you will have followers trust you, you will have consistent cash flow, you will have top of mind, abilities for your industry if you are constantly starting and stopping, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to do professional development and I'm going to read 6 books today to get caught up, but then for 6 months you don't read. There's no momentum built, right? Or you're on a new diet plan and for 3 days, you're going to eat everything that's just raw and you're going to think that's going to be momentum. But then for 3 months, you go back into old habits and we never see any of that change, right? So it's the same thing in your business is that, the number one way I love to teach momentum is cadence. It's figuring out what your cadence needs to look like so that it is not something that maybe has to be done daily. Because I always say, when you're building momentum, a daily commitment is sometimes hard to actually keep stable in your business model. Life is going to happen within 2 weeks of that. And so if you don't have a reset time, it's really hard to keep a consistent every single day cadence of a deliverable, of a output, of a expectation, for you to complete. But if you can figure out a cadence about twice a week, I think is the sweet spot, because if you need it to happen the earlier in the week and then you close out the week, or if it's on Tuesday, Wednesday for you. But what you're not doing is starting and stopping and letting 4 weeks because you're on vacation or because the kiddos were sick or because a life, piece is happening as a business owner. And then you reset the next month, you literally lost the progress of those 4 weeks missed. And then again, you have to like build another campaign, build another, inertia, ball up the hill for you to be able to even get back to your baseline. So the way that I want you to think about is my cadence. I need to know where my floor is, where my bottom, I don't care what's happening in life, I cannot go below this threshold. Okay. So it's a wonderful activity for today's video is for you to really strategically think about, write this down, get out of your head onto paper on this, is no matter what happens in life for 2025, this will be my baseline of what I expect myself to produce or interact or engage or the team to do in terms of sales or marketing or networking or education or partnerships. Like you have to have some threshold to go. We won't drop below here. Okay. So that's what I mean by cadence when you are creating momentum. It's not something that just happens. I think that's really kind of a arbitrary thought is some people know how to create momentum in their business and why can't I create momentum? It's one, because we haven't figured out the cadence and we have gone so spike up and then valley low and then spike up and valley low. That will never be sustainable for you as a business owner. And honestly, for your longevity of your clientele, of your sustainability to still enjoy being a business owner, it's gonna diffuse pretty fast. Okay. So second concept I love to teach is never miss twice. So it's a metaphor, it's a rule of thumb, it's a way to kind of live by as a business owner, that if you forget or if something gets kind of crossed off the list on that Tuesday, right? But you have the thought process, you have the tool in your toolkit to say, but I never miss twice. So if I said I was going to send that proposal, or if I was going to do that social media piece, or if I was going to work on that piece of content and it got moved, rightfully so, from the calendar, rightfully so, I just never miss twice. So I make sure I put that, on tomorrow's, critical action list, or I make sure that I shift a meeting until Thursday that's really not going to be income producing or fruitful or cohesive in any way. It's just more, I'm just going through the motions. It's a wonderful way to evaluate and go, that deliverable absolutely cannot miss twice. And so I need to honor that that needs to get closed out and that needs to get to completion. Okay. So that's the key word for number 3 is I want you obsessed, like in a healthy way, kind of addicted, kind of like I'm on the completion train with you, Connie, is for you to create momentum is completion. It is when you have win after win after win. And I don't mean new client cash flow, subscriber this, added this, showcase this, team member rocked this out. I don't always mean the win is in terms of the tangible outcome of your hard work that's happening. I mean, the obsession with completion is you have controlled the controllables. You have worked the business the way that you know you need to work the business. And you got another win for Monday and another win for Tuesday. And what you said you were going to do as a business owner on Wednesday, you completed. And then let's say it's just 2 deliverables on Thursday, but you got those completed. And let's say it's 7 deliverables on Friday, but you got those completed. So the last piece of building sustainable momentum and the importance of that is that sense of completion. I know what I say I'm going to do for my own business, right? Because I'm working for Connie Kercher, even though I am Connie Kercher, is I trust when I say Tuesday, these are going to be my deliverables to completion. Wednesday, these are going to be my deliverables to completion. One, because I never miss twice and I make sure that my deliverables get done off my plate into marketplace, into a client's inbox, into a post, whatever the project is or the theme for that day, is because I have self-trust to know I am managing my cadence. Okay. I'm not over promising and under delivering, which then wipes out my confidence to work for myself. Let me say that again. Like, write that down in the comments. When we continuously overcommit, under deliver, it wipes away your confidence to be a business owner. Okay. So if you are now self-aware that maybe that is something you are doing, is that you have a unmanageable expectation of your deliverables every single day, every single week, every single year, that may be an opportunity for you to go, what's really important is momentum. What's really important is completion. Connie's asking me to get obsessed with completion. So completion isn't 1,000 things being undone or so much, I always say to my clients that like the word working on is like a curse word for me. I'm like, maybe you are completing phase 1 in 2 weeks, and then you're completing phase 2, and then you're completing and reviewing and revising phase 3. It's the same thing of working on, but do you notice how much that feels in control and sustainable and, clear directives to say, okay, I'm going to work on this project in 3 phases. Each phase gets 2 weeks to complete. And then I get 1 final week to edit, review, get feedback, and then we go into implementation mode. Okay. That's how you create momentum, is using language like that. So I hope in today's training, I have given you just 10 minutes of some tidbits, some, tools to add again to your evolution and really your growth as a business owner. Is I know you continuously grow as the industry expert. Everyone that watches my channel, every client that I work with, you all are absolutely of service. You are absolutely making the impact that you want to. You absolutely are holding highest of highest standards to make sure that your clients are getting the deliverables that you are interacting with them for. It's the behind the scenes being the business owner and the CEO and the manager of you and the manager of all of the systems and strategies is where you sometimes just, want to curl underneath your table. That is why I love being able to coach strategy. That is why I love to be able to normalize strategy is it is just putting intention to completion to ultimately create a sustainable business model that is constantly being able to be renewed and constantly being able to create, new entry points. But you have to keep that momentum. You have to, right? It's like if there was a momentum department, which I always love to think about for me, I'm like, okay, if my momentum department, like, had a director, would he or she be like on board to how we're running the company, right? So maybe that's another way to think about this as we close out the video is it is a tangible part of your strategy is one, you are never going to miss twice and you're going to build a sustainable cadence and you're going to start figuring out what that looks like for you and for your deliverables. And you're also going to start thinking about okay, if I was the momentum director for the company and I'm seeing how inconsistent we are doing, I'd bring in OSHA, I'd bring in a checkboard, and I'd say, we all are closed right now. We need 2 weeks of like red taping this and figuring this out. Okay. So this shouldn't get to that extreme. This video should give you some encouragement and not some, negativity of like, okay, that's true. I probably would cross off on my, board if I was being evaluated by the momentum director. But it should give you an encouragement. It should give you some direction to say that is a tangible part of every successful business is that I know how to manage momentum in my business. I know when I need to, level up in some ways, but I also know that I have a floor I am not willing to go below. The business is not willing to go below. And you as the CEO needs to start setting that and start being more clear with yourself on what you want that to look like. So if you have questions about strategy coaching, I'd love for you to check out my website. I have 2 options of always coaching with me. One is a complimentary strategy session for one-on-one coaching. I provide insights. We talk about what coaching would look like from a customized standpoint and what that cadence would look like for 2025. And then I also have 2 group coaching experiences. Both of them are 4 months long. I do enrollment in the summer and then I do enrollment in the fall. And so if you want to check that out, that is on the tab of work with me, group coaching, and you can actually just go ahead and sign up for that right now. So open enrollment is ready for May 1, and then you can actually enroll if you know that summer's not the right fit, but maybe the fall cohort strategy group session would be a better fit for you. Feel free to hop on the website and go ahead and secure your spot now. I will see you all later this week for another training. If you have any questions about today's video, please put that in the comment section. I will make sure that I address that and would love some of your personalized questions or your ahas and takeaways from today's video. All right, I'll see y'all later this week. Go and enjoy and go be more strategic. Bye, y'all.